Throne room on Mandalorian, multiple scenes.
I don't know if that's the throne room.
It is. I watched the episode of Clone Wars yesterday with Duchess.
How is that
Satine.
still intact? It looks like the entire capital was blown to smithereens.
It is, but those are the glass things. We see it there. We see it in the lightsaber fight with Ahsoka and Darth Maul. That is the room.
I still don't understand how that room survived.
It could just be when you see the pan out of the entire city,
No, I
which looks
understand
just
that,
like it
but
does.
when you're in the throne room, though, it looks very like that scene where you're thinking it's the throne room. It's very intact. Like there's no damage or anything in there. I don't know.
Well, it's from the outside looking in.
The outside one with like the open, like it looked open, where like it
could just be like a piece of the structure that's left like in a bombing. It doesn't necessarily
really
level
clean,
everything.
though. But we'll see. We're going down there. I mean, like, there's no, like, there's no contention there that we're going down on the ground in the rubble to the capital city.
It's such a good show. Like, it is so good.
And who are the other Mandalorians?
Death Watch.
That was Death Watch.
Those are flashbacks. She even says, your cult, separate or what does she say? She says your cult created a fraction between our people, and it's all Death Watch people. They're all in blue and black armor and stuff.
No, there's the other scene where they're all in different colored armor. There's like orange and white and pink and all this craziness.
But with the one where they drop out of the ship,
yes, that's Death Watch.
I think that's a flashback.
I actually think we're going to see the destruction of Mandalore in a flashback.
Yeah, for sure. I think we're
the Night of a Thousand Tears.
Flashbacks and everything.
What year does that take
from
place?
Beginning to end? It's gonna be a. You know how the first season we got all those flashbacks to Din being saved and becoming a foundling. I think we're gonna get that full picture in this season.
Oh,
I agree.
That makes sense.
This happens right after.
It's 5 years after the destruction of Death Star 2.
Okay.
No. He's asking when Mandalore got destroyed.
The Mandalore happened. Yeah, the Mandalore got destroyed in the
That's
air.
right after Clone Wars.
Right after Clone Wars.
Rebels,
no.
It would be after Rebels. We don't actually have a clear-cut picture as to how Mandalore is like when and where this all like happened. We don't have
before A New Hope
actual timeline.
It's got to be before A New Hope, but after Rebels. So before
Rogue One, like before Rogue One.
Before Rogue One, like during the time of Solo, probably somewhere in there.
Yeah,
that'll be good.
I guess. I don't know. It could have happened between episodes 4 and 6 for all we know. It could have been something that was going on in the middle of all this. I have no idea. I don't want to make it. Because there's so much time from when Sabine gives the Darksaber to Bo, and then when we find Moff Gideon, there's so much time. That's like almost 20 years.
People are speculating that Bo might actually end up being the bad guy this season.
She gives up bad guy vibes. I get that at the end she there's very I feel like that might be just Mandalorians though, like as a whole. Like they're very just proud people, that they aspire to be the top. So
there's more to it though. She it doesn't make sense on how she just willingly took the Darksaber from Sabine at the in Rebels, and then Mando's like, I don't want this taken. She's like, I can't. I have to win it by combat.
Well, it's because of the prophecy. The prophecy says that if you don't win it in combat and you take it from somebody, that Mandalore will be destroyed. Lo and behold, Mandalore gets destroyed.
So it's like she's a completely different person. So we don't know what the Night of a Thousand Tears, what that did to her mentally.
I agree, though. I think we're gonna see it in real time, like how it all went down and got destroyed.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of lore building that needs to happen too, because the entire planet was completely harvested for all of its materials and whatnot. All of the armor, everything was melted down. There's a lot of Beskar. It'll be very interesting to see how and why this all went down.
Yeah, I have a question for you. So how much of, I feel like this is gonna come up a bunch because of my fandom of this game, but how much of KOTOR is considered lore now, other than just Revan?
It's not.
Not even Revan?
Revan is canon because his name appears.
That's a solid name.
Well, he one of the legions, what are they called? The Sith Trooper legions is named after him in episode 9.
And
so we know he's
also,
canon.
and then his name also comes up again in this brand new book that came out called Shadows of the Sith.
Yes.
They mention him. They mention a few other Siths where you're just like, oh, okay, this is very interesting.
They're starting to take pieces of that and make it canon, like Darth Bane in Clone Wars. Even though it's not him and it's the Wills, that does make him canon, and things like that. So they are taking bits and pieces. Malik is also canon because he's mentioned with Revan in one of the books, so he's canon now. So yeah, they're making it canon slowly. And Tim and I were speculating on the new game whether that's canon, but
they're being
now we're just
very
worried about the game.
strategic.
Yeah, like I just because it's like when I was a kid, like Mandalore is like a very, very different viewpoint because of that game, because of like just like, you know, like it's a big focal point for one of the characters in KOTOR, and I just wondered if like that would be like addressed at all, but it probably won't be.
You talking about Cassius?
Mm-hmm. Like there's a whole like section on him. Like, yeah,
they've kept Mandalorian's lore pretty steady through Legends into this. I think that has a lot to do with Jon Favreau because he's a huge fan of Mandalorians from those games and the books and stuff.
Yeah.
So I think he's part of the reason he's keeping working with Filoni and Lucas, obviously, to keep it all intact and protect that. And then what we get in Clone Wars, obviously that's canon as well. So
yeah. But like, all right, Mandalorians are like, outside of the Chiss, the Mandalorians are like the coolest people. Star Wars, I think, in my opinion. Like, I love the Chiss. I'm just gonna go out there and say it. They're my favorite, but Mandalorians are great as well.